You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, I got to tell you, when it comes to these CBA negotiations, potential lockouts, this and that and the other, it's amazing how nobody really and truly on either side acknowledges one key difference, Rebecca Lobo included, which we'll get to her video in a minute. They failed to acknowledge one simple fact. And this is absolute fact. It's all over with the viewership, the ratings, how much people are willing to pay for tickets to get into games, the whole nine. There would be a real potential for the WNBA to possibly not even exist anymore. All right, of which Rebecca Lobo acknowledges that part, right? The value of these teams, the league, all of it has risen because of Caitlin Clark. She doesn't mention that. She does not mention that. We'll get to that in a minute. Adam Silver was on the Today Show, and of course, the NBA starts today. All right, and he gets asked about the WNBA, the CBA, whether or not these players are going to make more money.
Right now. Before I let you get out here, WNBA, as you know, they're calling for players in the WNBA are calling for more money. They 9%, I believe, accordingly. They get 9% of total revenue compared to roughly 50% of the revenue of NBA players. Should they be getting a larger share of the revenue in the WNBA?
Yes. I mean, I think the share isn't the right way to look at it because there's so much more revenue in the NBA. I think you should look at it in absolute numbers in terms of what they're making, and they are going to get a big increase in this cycle of collective bargaining, and they deserve it.
Commissioner Adam Silver, best of luck.
Okay. As we thought. Now, you noticed he quickly diverted from the share aspect of this. Okay. I mean, they're not going to get 50%. That's not going to be a thing. Because the NBA makes a boat ton of money, much, much, much more money, especially on their media rights deal, right, than the WNBA. That's the big difference. Plus, the ownership structure is different in the NBA versus WNBA. But he did come out and acknowledge, look, they're going to get a big raise, and they are. I figured that it's going to be somewhere around 3 times what they're making now. Guess maybe 4 times is on the table, is possible. I saw where evidently they turned down, well, there's been reports that they've turned down anywhere from $850,000 to $1 million on a Supermax, which is, if they turn that down, it's absurd. Because the bottom of the league money, like the average salary, the rookies might go to somewhere between $250,000 and $300,000 a year. I mean, all the way across the board, that's a massive raise. Now, I saw some fan that was absolutely ludicrous the other day said on Twitter, Asia Wilson should get $10 million a year. I mean, if you're going to start paying these players this, the league will fold, Caitlin Clark or not. They don't have that kind of money. They're not bringing in that kind of revenue. And if you hope to expand the rosters and yada, 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 not a chance that the money is going to get up in that range. Come together on the 3 times more salary and then revisit every 3 years like clockwork. All right? That's just that way you can continue. If the league does actually continue to grow, then you can revisit, and $1 million salary in 3 years can go to 1.3 or 1.4 or 1.5, wherever they are in that particular monetary value. Now, the only issue is the media rights deal is not going to increase like that. That media rights deal is for 10 years, $2.2 billion for 10 years. So that's something else to consider too. They are making a lot of money off expansion fees, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Rebecca Lobo.
And This is sort of the first time I'm watching the CBA negotiations from afar without the fear that the league is going to fold. Because to me, in every previous CBA negotiation, there was a real possibility that the NBA could just say, this is too much. We're losing money. We're not willing to invest. We'll just fold the league. That's not a reality anymore. That's not an economic reality. These franchises are worth too much. These women are worth too much. And so there is that sort of piece of relief in me that I've never had before, watching from the outside of, well, at least we know, even if there was a lockout, which I don't think there's going to be, even if there was, this league is not just going to go away. And
Okay. So the league's not just going to go away. Now, the only thing I would say is, what happens if Caitlin Clark decides to retire a year from now? Let's say all the behavior of her peers doesn't change. She continues to get the crap beat out of her on the court. And she says, enough. I'm walking away. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go play golf. I'm going to go overseas and play. Whatever. All right. If she does that, what do you think's going to happen? The networks that paid all that money in the media rights deal are going to go to Adam Silver and go, look, you know as well as I do, we paid the $200+ million a year because of her and what she's done to the ratings. If she's not going to be involved and the ratings drop, then they're going to want to renegotiate the media rights deal, or they're going to be like, look, they'll start having to do what the NFL had to do in 2016 when the ratings dropped because of the Colin Kaepernick deal. They had to give away free ads. They were giving advertisers 2-for-1 ads and all kinds of different colorful ways to try to shoehorn more advertisement into, because the NFL said, we're going to deliver these kind of ratings, and then they didn't. They couldn't follow through. So the NFL had to start giving away advertisement in different places. I don't think the league's going to fold. I do think it was a possibility a couple of years ago. Yeah. I mean, again, we got to realize the league's never made a profit. And I'm waiting right now. It was October or into November when we got the New York Post article last year that the league, even with Caitlin Clark, had lost $40 million still. Now, the new media rights deal hadn't kicked in, but it didn't kick in for this season either. So I'm waiting for that article to see how much money this league has lost this season, because I don't believe they've turned a profit this year either. All right. Without the media rights deal, I just don't see there's any way, because people were paying up for, ticket prices, yada, 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 last year. Still $40 million in loss. All right. So that's the thing about sports these days. It's all television revenue. Yeah, you got some expansion fees, blah, 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 but no, that's not really. It is television money, always. That's why the NFL is king. I doubt they're going to close it down. But yeah, one time, in fact, that New York Post article actually came out and said NBA owners were beginning to question why they were keeping the league going and what the hell was happening to their money. That was in that article. They were questioning, why are we doing this? We're not getting anything paid back after 26, 27 years. Tell me what you think. It's amazing that 2 words can't come out of people's mouths still. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.